have so much fun today learning AI and taking it to a whole new level. Earlier today, I mentioned that I use a program called Notion as my second brain, my place to keep all of my notes. And I love it. It's been a fantastic tool for capturing any idea, whether it's in the middle of the night or I'm, out for a walk. I can just quickly capture an idea and then later use it or decide, how it can inform me later. And I'm transforming all of my paper notes into these digital notes so I can access them everywhere. And I don't have so many paper notes overflowing all over my house. So it's allowing me to condense bit by bit to clean up and get organized. And recently, Notion added a whole new level. They gamed up in so many ways, and one of them is they added AI first. When they first added it, I tried it out a little bit and it didn't really quite meet my needs, but then they have leveled up and they have made their AI so powerful. So I wanted to share with you a little bit about my Notion and how you might be able to use it as well. And here's the deal. If you already have another program or app that you use for capturing your ideas as they come to you, jotting down anything that you need to put into the calendar if you're not at your calendar, you can use that other program. It's perfectly fine. This is just going to be an example. So if you're already set with Evernote or some other program, fine. Just use what works for you. And look at this as like, maybe there are some tips or techniques or principles that I can use. I am by no means at the pinnacle of Notion mastery. I am on my way. It's like there's so much to learn. Notion has all of these different features and functions, and right now I'm just using it as a place to gather all of my ideas and thoughts. So first of all, I just had this open to look at what would it be like if you were just starting off new and you went to the Notion website. This is it. And it's talking about Notion AI here. If we go to their main logo, you're going to see their main page and you can start it for free. And I recommend that. Just go ahead and start up an account and start playing around with it and see if you find it intuitive. If you do, go for it. So if we go into my Notion here, I have right here a section in my Notion about how to use Notion. And I had notes as I was learning to help me understand. And I learned from a few awesome teachers, and one particular had this amazing idea of think of 12 questions that you ask yourself a lot. And that's another fun way to just get clear on what are some of the main themes in your life, the main areas that you would like to improve. And I came up with these questions like, how can I be more loving and compassionate? How can I find more meaning and purpose? How can I help people be present, more loving and engaged, productive and happy? And how can I make decisions more quickly? So I use that as a general starting point, and you can too, just to start structuring. Then you might come up with different pages. Now, I have just all of these pages. One is all about business, and how I would like to build this business that helps people with AI, helps people, surf the wave of AI instead of being crushed by it. Just really be ahead of the curve and lean into this massive change that's happening and have some adaptability. Awesome. Thank you so much for chatting in. I love it. Hello to you too. And anybody who has any question, and feel free to ask in the chat. I would love to be able to help you as we go. Awesome. So Notion is this repository, and right now most of my pages are just plain vanilla, just get all my ideas down and keep them in one place and then start organizing, filtering, I can use them when I'm creating content. Like I can take one article or one place where I say, keep this like this right here is all about AI video, how to use AI to create video. This is just such an impressive, such a fun avenue of development. So I wanted to keep in touch with it and start building that up. I have another section on Otter, which is Otter AI is a fantastic program that I use on my phone primarily for capturing audio transcripts, capturing notes, and as well as the audio soundtrack of any meeting, so I can revisit it later. And then it has its own AI, which is fantastic, and it gives you a summary. And here I have some notes about how to make the most of Otter AI. I have a page about 11 Labs where you can go and read many passages or provide it with audio files of your previous work, and it produces an amazing replica of your voice. So then if you ever need to produce something like a podcast episode or any kind of audio product, and say, you're just not in a place where you can record your voice, you can just type it in and it'll sound just like you, especially with the advanced versions that they offer. So this is a perfect example of what we're looking at here with the AI video, because one other great thing about Notion or any program like that is that it allows you to capture and keep things very clearly, very organized. When I go to say something like ChatGPT, I have this amazing conversation, and I can, I can get all these great ideas in this conversation. But like I've mentioned in previous recordings, if I don't capture it, it is a real bear to try to find my past stuff in ChatGPT. It's just one of the big downsides of it. If you're using it on a desktop like I use it a lot of the time, this the sidebar which shows your past prompts is, you can search some things and get some ideas, but it's pretty hard to find stuff. And so consequently, I and other creators like myself are often just stuff goes by the wayside. And we remember, like, oh yeah, about a month or two ago, I had this great chat, and oh my God, it really helped me with XYZ. And we go back and try to find it, and it's just like, where did it go? So what I recommend to everybody is that you take your favorite conversations, your favorite results, and put them into something like Notion so that you can then capture and revise as you go. So let's take a look at that right now. This is a chat that I started today, and many of you know that I love to play with AI making songs. Is that the most practical application? Is it a way to make money? Is it a way to improve your marketing? Not necessarily, but it's fun. It's fun and creative. I mean, I'm always going, wow, I can't believe that I can make my own songs, make my own music videos. So if you're like me and you just like to play, you like to experiment, I highly recommend doing this. Now, there is one slightly practical application of a good song, is that most of our songs that are so beautiful are kind of negative. If you think about it, so many of the popular songs are about lost love or a broken heart or, something sad. And I would much rather fill my thought with positive, empowering messages. So that is a slightly practical application that you can have with making a song. So that was my mission this morning. I got up, and a friend of mine had come up with this great like affirmation. Tony Robbins calls them incantations. To really to make it like I am able. And he has all sorts of examples. And my friend came up with one just yesterday that was very simple. I don't do overwhelm and procrastination. I do love, joy, abundance, and appreciation. So I just love that so much. It really resonated with me. Instead of, continuing to run a script in my thought about, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed, I have so much to do. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. I can really resonate, and I know many, many of my friends are dealing with that problem. There's a lot going on. There seems to be little time, but it doesn't help to keep repeating that and keep running that, because it just makes us continue to live in that kind of limited scarcity mindset. And, we don't live in reality. We live in what we focus on. So why not focus on something wonderful? So that idea of, I don't do overwhelm anymore. And instead I do love, joy, abundance, and appreciation. That just made me feel so good that I thought, I'm going to make a song about that. So I went over here to ChatGPT and I put in a fairly long prompt telling ChatGPT who to be. Be a combination of Sting, Tony Robbins, Bono from U2, and Andy Grammer. And then I gave it this affirmation, this incantation, and then I said, use that as the chorus. And in the beginning verses, talk about feeling overwhelmed, but quickly get to a no more point, a point of like, I'm not going to live this way anymore, where you're just raising your standard, and leave that behind, and then go into positive emotions of joy, love, abundance, appreciation, and maybe include asking questions like, what am I grateful for? Or, what am I most happy about? So we get this all put into the song, and I gave it all, and then there it is. It produced the song. Lately, I've been running in place, tripping on the lines of time and space. Weight on my shoulders, head full of noise, like I'm caught in the chaos, lost in the void. And it goes on from there, and then it has the chorus, which is basically that affirmation that I told you about, adds to it. This is my mantra, my elevation. I do love, joy, abundance, appreciation. So I liked a lot of this, but I read it out loud, which is what I always recommend we do. And some things didn't really work for me. So I started tweaking it, knowing that a lot of it I liked, a lot of the general overall structure I really like. So I tell ChatGPT that. And sometimes, you may feel like it's not important to tell AI that it's doing a great job, but I like to do it, and it seems to improve the results. And do whatever is playful and fun. Have fun with it. But I say, okay, let's do some tweaks. And instead of those first 2 lines, I say, write 2 lines about feeling overwhelmed, like it's all too much. I have too much to do, too little time, and give me 5 versions. This is a great way to use ChatGPT and any other AI program. Get a lot of choices and then choose one. So it gave me 5 choices. I won't read them all, but the first one feels like I'm drowning. I can't keep up. Too much on my plate. Not nearly enough. And I liked that, but I said, not nearly enough. That I'm not so sure. So I say, let's do another slight twist on that. How about something like, and do this, or if you can think of something better, feels like I'm drowning, I can't keep up, that's the same. Too much on my plate, hours not enough. That's what I came up with. I thought, okay, we ought to work the time element into it. And then it said, hey, your version flows really well, especially with the rhythm and theme. Here's a slight twist that keeps the imagery tight. Feels like I'm drowning, I can't keep up. Too much on my plate, and time's never enough. I like that. I said, okay, that sounds really good. I said, I like your first revision. They gave me a second choice as well. And then I go into the next thing. And I have a phrase that I thought wasn't really quite great. And I added some instructions for making it better. And it says, here's your revised version. So I could continue to go through this and tweak it. But for the sake of time, and that's what I would usually do. I would continue going through this whole thing and make sure it all works very, very well and true to my heart. But since your time is precious, let's just get right to it. I'm going to copy this song here, and I'm going to take it over into Suno. And I could also take it into Notion and just have it sit there for a little while. If I don't have time to do this next step, I could take it into Notion and put it into my kind of database of different song ideas that I'm working on. And whatever you're working on, whatever you're playing with, whatever you're creating, when you're just having fun, or you're doing your business and your hopefully work is play, and you're really having a lot of fun doing your business as well. If you're doing marketing, creating emails, whatever you're doing for your business, hopefully it's just as creative and fun as this kind of thing. So I could take it over into Notion, but let's just go ahead and put it into Suno right now. And if you don't have a Suno account, again, go to suno.com and just get a free account and just try it out. I did that for a while, and then I loved it so much that I went ahead and got a subscription so I could have more credits and be able to produce more fun song versions, knowing that many versions are going to be needed to get the one that you really like. So this is kind of a fun experiment for us. We don't know what's going to come out. So I had this general first version, and I'm going to go back over here because I liked that we came up with this one as a second part of the first verse. So verse 1, whoa, wait a minute, let's see, tripped on the lines, but yeah, I guess we got rid of, I'm running in place, tripping on lines of time and space, weight on my shoulders, head full of noise, I'm caught in the chaos, lost in the void. Wow, I thought we were replacing something different here. So let me just double check and make sure. Instead of that, lately I've been running in place. Okay, yes, that's what it is. It's replacing those two lines. Great. So I just had to, it's really this, that I didn't really want to tripping on lines in space. So it's replacing the first two lines. Feels like I'm drowning too much on my plate. Can't keep up too much on my plate. Time's never enough. And just going to double check that that's exactly what I want. So you have to do some weaving here. Lately. Yep, that's it. Okay, and then the next verse, I believe, is going to be that second verse here. And so we're going to just take this one that goes, I used to wait, and we're going to replace that with one of these. I used to wait, hesitate, close my eyes, but I've learned we create our lives. With every step, I choose what's real. Emotions aren't given. We create how we feel. So I like that. So let's go with that. Lives and eyes rhyme together. Sounds great. So we're having fun. And again, that's replacing the part that says, I used to wait. So I'm going to go here and look at this. Okay, so it's this verse too. So there we go. So I'm replacing that. And so this is, turning into a fun lesson about Suno as well. Another great tool. So I could make it an instrumental if I wanted just to make music, but that would remove this lyrics box. I could make it custom. That's what I'm doing right now. If you undo this, you could create, have Suno create the lyrics for you. But I like to have that control and go back and forth with ChatGPT and get what I really want. Now, we have to ask what kind of music we really want to do. What's the style that we really want to do? And I found so much fun in different fun styles. Let's just start with, anthem, alternative rock, and just see what comes out. And I'm calling it Sada's Song because that's my friend's name. And we're going to hit create, and it creates two versions, knowing that you're going to often have a tough time getting the right thing that you want exactly right out of the gate. All right, so it's working on it, and here's
Feels like I'm drowning, I can't keep up. Too much on my plate and time's never enough.
okay, so that's kind of having almost a country rock feel to it for me. So let's try the next one.
Feels like I'm drowning, I can't keep up. Too much on my plate and time's never enough. Weight on my shoulders, head full of noise, like I'm caught in the chaos, lost in the void. But here's where it changes, I've had enough. Raising the bar, calling my bluff. No more drowning, hesitation, time to break.
We have a good taste of that one. Now let's try something completely different, like, oh boy, you know, what would be fun? Sort of, you know, how about 80s pop, new punk? Just trying different things and see what comes up. I see I have choices here. I can do opera metal, comedy, bro step, ska punk, and a bunch of different medieval rock even. So we can play with a whole bunch of different styles. And just see what comes up, to see what really has a catchy beat for you. And that's what I do, is just like with photography, I create songs that I want to listen to. And I do listen to my songs a lot. I find them a really good way to start the day. And just like, you know, I've always recommended that to photographers, you're going to be the one looking at your pictures initially and the most. So take pictures and make photos that you really enjoy. So let's see what the next two songs sound like.
I don't do overwhelm and procrastination. Too much on my plate and time's never enough. Weight on my shoulders, head full of noise, like I'm caught in the chaos, lost in the void. But here's where it changes, I've had enough. Raising the bar, calling my bluff. No more drowning in hesitation, time to break free from the chains of frustration. I don't do overwhelm and procrastination.
So I will listen to that whole thing later and probably download it and probably put some of my photos or short B-roll video clips to it, and make something that I can put up into my YouTube channel with a playlist for empowering songs. For fun, let's just see what the second version's like.
Feels like I'm drowning, I can't keep up. Too much on my plate and time's never enough. Weight on my shoulders, head full of noise, like I'm caught in the chaos, lost in the void. But here's where it changes, I've had enough. Raising the bar, calling my bluff.
Well, that one, my first initial response was, I don't like it as much as the second to the last one. And then I thought, actually, the emotion that is being conveyed is very overwhelming and hectic. So I would have loved that one if then it shifted into something that expressed the joy of going to that place of, I only do love, joy, abundance, and appreciation. So you can see how we can have a lot of fun. And this was just to demonstrate that when we get something that we really like in ChatGPT, we can bring it over into another tool like Suno. Since I have this here, I'm going to take this over into Notion. And is making songs part of my business? That's debatable, but it may trigger people to feel inspired to try AI, which is one of my main missions, is just try it. Just try stuff and start playing, because that's what early masters and teachers told me to do, and it made all the difference. Once I got going, the ball was rolling, and I really enjoyed some results. And every once in a while, sure, I hit a roadblock or I had an obstacle. And then I would just try something different. And usually that would loosen it back up and get me back to a place of, wow, I cannot believe how much this is helping my productivity. I cannot believe how much this is helping me serve my clients better in my business. So you can do that as well. So we have here, let's just say AI songs, and later I'll do it right now. I'm just going to say this is Sada's song, and it's about love, joy, abundance, and appreciation. And then here I can make this into a header. And I can just organize in that way. And there are better ways to do this. Notion has so many people making templates, and many of them are free, and you can just go to their template store. Let me show you that. you can go down here and look for templates, and you can find all sorts of templates for different things you might want to do. Creating a second brain is what a lot of people do. That's just the term that people use for getting everything out of your head and not relying on your own memory to remember every little detail. One thing that I love that Einstein said was when somebody said, you don't, they asked him his phone number and he said, I don't know it. And they asked him a phone number of someone else and he said, I don't know it. And he said, they were just flabbergasted. You, this genius, don't know this phone number? And he said, that's in the phone book. Why would I waste my imaginative capabilities with memorizing something like that? So that's what a second brain is. But here in this templates, you can look for paid ones. You can filter by just seeing the free ones. And you can start off with something already built. Like, see, this one's buy for $8. If I go back here, I can look for AI-powered tools. And these templates are, hey, an AI brainstorm mind map with prompt. And I click on that to see what it's like, and it's free. And it's a mind map with prompt template. It uses AI to make brainstorming easier. So this could be a great addition to your workflow. So you could use that or do what I've done, just having notes for the time being while I'm building up this second brain. So, all right, so I was coming in here to show you, yeah, we were saving that one song. And then now that we are in there, I'm going to go back to this part where we were, and even this AI song here. And you see this little face down here? This is Notion AI. So we go in here and, hey, hi there. How can I help you today? Well, you could summarize this page. I've just put in my song, so that wouldn't do me much good. You could ask me about this. You can find action items. You could translate. That's a great idea. Why don't we try translating this to Spanish? And right there, Spanish. And here we go. Okay, there's the song in Spanish. Now I'll have to run this by my Spanish friend to make sure that it really flows right. But voila! Now I can take this into Suno. And I've never done this before, so let's play. Let's play and just see how it does. Okay, so here we go, back into Suno. And I'm just going to go ahead and take this spot here, paste it in Espanol, and create. Okay, and this will be really interesting. Let's see how AI does in the Suno world. Now, I've had other experiences with other tools where it just translates amazingly well, and the audio version is amazingly good.
Peso sobre mis hombros, cabeza llena de ruido, como si estuviera. Oh.
Those of you who speak fluent Spanish can tell me if that sounds really good. I heard some R rolling though, so I'm in the right spot.
Siento que mi ojo no puede seguir el ritmo, demasiado vibrato, y el tiempo nunca es suficiente.
If you speak Spanish in the chat, let me know if that works. But isn't that fun? Okay, and that was just the first use that I was playing with here for playing with Notion AI. Now I've copied it, and I'm going to come down here and just capture it so that I have it, in case it does end up being that actually works. But I want to go back here to the AI, and I want to just play with AI in Notion in some other way. Because here's the deal. When you go to ChatGPT, you're using all knowledge that is captured, immense amounts of data. If you say, answer this as Sting, Bono from U2, and Andy Grammer, it's going to take a subset of that. It's going to do its best. If you create your own custom GPT, then you are going to be further giving it instructions and restrictions. And if you go even further and use another tool like Cassidy AI or MindPal, you can provide those with a knowledge base. You provide it with all sorts of documents. Same thing with Notebook LM, Google's fantastic tool. You can provide it with a knowledge base that really helps it be very super personalized just for you, hyper focused just for you. But here's the deal. If you happen to use Notion, or you're open and you're currently just writing things down on paper like this, you're writing things down on paper. That's a pretty version, but I got tons in my past that are just scribbled notes that don't do any good because they're non-searchable, non-indexable. So if you are starting at that point and you're like open, and you take me up with this invitation and try Notion AI, then that's where all of your stuff is already going. So you can go to AI at any time and say, judging by what you know of me, tell me XYZ. You could get it to help you with a presentation coming up by combining information and knowledge that you've created. So let's just try that. Write an outline about AI mastery given all here in my knowledge base. How to utilize and how to save time and get to just the right tools quickly. Let's just see what it does. Okay, so it's thinking now. It's looking at my stuff, and it's looking through different pages. It's saying, oh my God, okay, it's looking at different pages that Jim has gathered about AI business. It's looking at some of the other great teachers that I've really respected. And it's looking at some of their other business objectives that I've captured in here. Based on the information provided, here's an outline for an AI mastery focusing on utilization and time-saving strategies. First section would be about understanding AI's potential. Recognize AI as a tool for productivity and decision-making. Oh man, it is so helpful for making big decisions. If you ever want to learn about that, if you have any struggles whatsoever with making decisions, let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments, because I have a fantastic tool and process for making big decisions, and I combine that tool with AI, and it's just like, it's unbelievably hyper powered. The next part they have for that one is embrace AI to stay competitive in your field. You've heard me talk about that before. Absolutely. You want to be the person using AI. Everybody likes to say AI is not going to take your job, but the people using AI might. Most of the time, they don't say might, they say they will. So embrace AI to stay competitive. Number 2, overcoming information overload. So it's a common theme that I have in my notes. Focus on concise, actionable information. Utilize AI-driven personalized learning paths. All right, that's good. And the third section would be essential tools. And there's one for decision support again. So you can see that decision making is a big theme in my notes here so far. For trend discovery, that's another big theme. I love a tool called Exploding Topics. if you like that, you can use Google Trends, but also exploding topics. AI for productivity. And there's MindPal for automation. The fourth section is about streamlining AI integration. It goes into leveraging AI for time saving. 6 is staying updated with AI trends. 7 is practical applications and continuous learning. Apply AI tools to real business challenges, which is what we're doing today. One of the big business challenges is so much information, and most people are drowning in information and starving for wisdom, as Tony Robbins says. So Notion is a way for you to capture what you need to capture and build up your own second brain of all the stuff that you refer to a lot. I have things in here in Notion from my business, like you've seen, but also to recipes that I really love to do. I love to make a homemade granola and a homemade protein bar. And so I have recipes like that and many others in one place so I can quickly get them. No more am I like trying to remember what cookbook they're in and find those, track them down, and no more am I searching on the internet unless I'm looking for a new recipe. For the ones that I like, why not just have it right at my fingertips? And then I also know the ingredients that I need to get for those. So I have sections about shopping. I have sections about caring for the house. You ever try to like go to fix some appliance in your house, and you can't remember when you bought it, or you can't remember the key combo on that particular appliance to make sure that the door doesn't auto lock. Whatever it is, I just put those in here so I don't have to worry about, oh, how do I remember, or have things in all different places. So Notion is your tool for keeping all that information together. And then the Notion AI allows you to work with that information in particular. It's a fantastic combo. And from there, you can go onwards to create songs. You can go to create videos. You can create a YouTube video on the topic that you're passionate about, and then strip the audio of it and make a podcast out of the same production that you've done, and take the transcript and with very little editing make a written document of what you've done, and you're just maximizing the results that you get out of every effort that you do. So try Notion out, try Notion AI, see how it works as you grow. And if you are already using Notion, definitely add that AI level to it if you haven't already. Again, let me know in the comments, what is one application that you would love AI to help you with? What is one thing that you would love to do and you really want AI's help? And this has been a really fun fireside chat with you. And what I'd like to do is take some of the ideas that you have, some of the desires that you have, like, yes, I want to create a blog, or yes, I really just want to use AI for business applications. I want to take your requests and put them into tight, very condensed videos so you can get exactly what you need in a very short amount of time. So please do comment below, let me know what you would like to use AI for. And I look forward to seeing your comments. And remember to, if you're at YouTube, subscribe to my channel and turn on that little bell so you can get notified when new videos come about. And if you're on Facebook or LinkedIn, go to YouTube and subscribe to that channel. I'd love to have you as part of the family of AI mastery experts. We're on our way, and all together we are going to be on the top of that wave. We're going to be ahead of this trend, and we are going to be the ones maximizing this competitive edge. All right? Thank you so much for joining. See you next time. Bye for now. Bye.